Okay, I'm studying for my philosophy final. Let's go. Only Luxemburg already asked us whether the possibility of cross-cultural communication is enough to form a cross-cultural idea of personhood. To the question, what is a person, she offers several definitions, but none of them guarantee that every person gets rights. Why not? Describe A. Rorty's argument for the phenomenological difference between people living in different cultures. Confucius has a different concept of personhood. How would you describe it? Do you think that Confucian society does better at guaranteeing respect and equality among people? Why or why not? Okay. So not every person gets rights. Why not? Phenomenological difference. Confucius' idea of personhood. Okay. Assigning personhood. Rivers and apes can be treated as persons, but some human beings can't be treated as persons. Some humans are treated as if they are not persons, treated as if they they don't deserve human rights. Prisoners are people in comas, people with mental disabilities. Why can't we come up with a satisfactory idea of what a person is that would include it and everything to whom we would like to give rights? We have different ideas of usefulness and cultures of what people ought to do and be. A person who deserves rights is someone who does not have laws. Who does a person who deserves rights? Meditative culture. India is more based on achievement and spiritual state. A belonging that includes people who break laws. Our definition always includes an out group. There's always an out group. Some ways of defining a person refer back to the slides: who is kept and who is left out, who does not get rights. Assigning personhood shields from risk of having rights taken away. Her argument for phenomenological differences of people living in different cultures, abstract concept that in practice is not remotely the same. Example of flowers and lilies, we respond to situations differently. Funeral is happy or sad in different cultures. All cultures recognize death in some way. One can be a happy occasion, another can be a similar occasion to live. Experience feels different. Smelling lilies thinks of death and funerals. Two cultures acknowledge it but think of it differently. Once you get too abstract, you'll not be sure what it refers to: religion, marriage, relationships. How does Confucius see personhood? Would his concept be problematic like Amelie Rorty? It would not be problematic because for Confucius there is always a right answer. Confucius has a different concept of person. As Confucius see personhood, which concept of problematic, I've already. It would not be problematic because for Confucius, there is always a right answer. There is no universal answer as to what a person is. As long as you are a part of it, you are a person. If you do not follow the rituals, you are out. He believes that people will believe naturally. Personhood will take work. We ought to see what is translated and valuable among persons. We should have one overarching perspective of persons. Does a Confucian society better guarantee respect and equality among people? If no, you need to be willing to participate. If Confucius is trying to make a better world, it is hard. It ought to be good. It ought to be an attractive option for everyone. If yes, it is clear what you need to do. Everyone feels responsible towards one another. How would you describe Confucius' concept of personhood? Junzi, exemplary person. Once they are around, then everyone else will be drawn to that person. Just by watching, you can become a better person. The fourth one, Richard Rorty writes that we are all ethnocentric because we feel like we only have to justify ourselves to those in our culture. How does this inform Richard Rorty's analysis of objectivity and truth? We see similarities with the critique of Chop Logic and Zhuangzi. Why or why not? There's no truth. For Richard Rorty, there is no truth in objectivity. Where he does not see an active choice, he calls ethnocentrism a good thing. We are naturally ethnocentric because we grew up in that culture and we have a shared foundation of that knowledge in our culture. Deep conversations about nuclear weapons, about big issues in our lives, are better when shared with people we have a lot in common with. The more knowledge you get, the closer you get to the truth. The most explanation we have for now is the same as truth. The best explanation we have for now is the same as truth, moving from that, the best to the possible better. Western cultures are all about objectivity. However, Rorty says things can't be objectively true. Everyone is in a culture already, so no one is able to establish truth. Western culture is all about objectivity. However, Rorty says things can't be objectively true because everyone is in a culture already, so no one is able to establish truth. However, Rorty says things can't be objectively true because everyone is in a culture. Everyone is in a culture or race, so no one is able to establish truth. However, Rorty says things can be objectively true because everyone is in a culture or race, so no one. Things can't be objectively true because There isn't a culture or race, so no one is able to establish truth. It would take a universal consensus to know something is true. An example would be knowledge, knowing how black holes exist, how the universe was formed. Whether or not anyone believed it, we call it true. Similarities between with the chopped logic and the Zhuangzi is against. Similarities with the chopped logic, the Zhuangzi is against. So there's no similarities. Chopped logic and Zhuangzi is against. He points out how ridiculous it is by saying that we should not chop logic up. He's saying that we are limiting ourselves, that when we try to categorize things that are or are not, nature does not depend on our labels. When we chop things up, it is given a label. When we chop things up, it is given a label. There is a label for a baby ox and an old ox, but if you wait long enough, it will change. The new ox will no longer be there. It will be old, so it is essentially both young and old, depending on the reference in time. When we chop things up, create arbitrary activity of make sure our labels are the right labels, calling a specific label true. Any dissimilarities? Would each culture label things? Yes. Zhuangzi said we should resist labeling altogether, not even talking about objectivity and absolute truth. Rorty would say that different cultures will always have different ways of seeing truth. If you don't label things, everything will eventually change. Language is sort of futile. Different cultures have different truths. Do you think this is true? If so, can these truths be shared across cultural lines? Does the search for truth in Bhagavad Gita, the Analects of Zhuangzi, have an impact on the search for truth in the modern day? Why or why not are we better off at being exposed to ever and past cultures, or should we focus on building our own unique and culture-specific understanding of the world? Different culture. Can ancient works help us understand the world today? The more we learn about the past, the less likely we are to repeat mistakes. Mistakes are universal. You think searching for the truth makes it good by asking, what is morality? You think searching for truth makes it good by asking, what is morality? With different cultures, it makes life hard to figure out. This is a world friendly and challenge. Tourists just need to try and learn different cultures. There can be an openness and bearing the search for truth as the universe. Okay, I'm gonna take my philosophy exam. My philosophy final exam. Good luck. Peace. God bless.